Landlord tip: you have to know your eviction process in the state, county, and city that you're operating in. So today we're actually heading down to court right now to sit in on an eviction case for one of the tenants on the properties. Actually, it's for a property that I personally own. So we're gonna sit in there today. He didn't pay the rent. We follow the proper procedure, and we're gonna find out today if the judge orders him to be removed from the home. Keep you posted. All right, we just wrapped up the court hearing, and the tenant did not show up to the hearing, so the judge ruled in our favor. So the tenant is officially has to get out. He's got 5 days now. The judge gave him 5 days to vacate the property. If he doesn't vacate the property within 5 days, we've got to come back to the court and ask them to send out the constable, and the constable will come out and remove the tenant from the property. So a lot of times the tenant vacates the property during this process. So we're actually going to drive by the property right now, and we're going to see if he's still there, and we're going to keep a real close eye on the property over the next couple of days, because they could be trashing the place, they could be damaging other property, they could become a nuisance to other tenants within the community. So we got to keep a very, very close eye, and if they don't vacate, then we've got to come back here and get the judge to send the constable out, and then the constable will forcibly remove them. But let's head down there now and see if they're even still at the property. All right, we're just now leaving eviction court. The judge ordered the tenant to be out because he didn't pay the rent, so the judge ruled in our favor. Now we're heading down to the property to see if the tenant is still at the property. We need to keep a very, very close eye on this property and make sure that the tenant doesn't destroy the property. In the meantime, he's got 5 days to move out. The judge gave him 5 days to move out, so we're going to see if he's here. Oh yeah, looks like they're definitely still here. They're definitely still on the property. I don't know, I think maybe a couple of years ago I would have let it slide a little bit more and then taken another payment and let it go, and then, you know, eventually, you know, let him pay some more and then eventually kick him out. But now, you know, I'm in a position where if you're not fulfilling your obligations, I just want you out. I just want to get you out. I want to make room for a good tenant who's looking for a good, safe place to live.
Especially right now, the season is coming. Like, a lot of people's calling for trailers.
Yeah, now is the time. You know,
I know. I just hope the guy didn't destroy the trailer because he was brand new.
I know, it was a really nice trailer. So let's hope it's okay. We will know soon. I get lots of questions on how do you prevent a squatter, or how do you deal with a squatter on a property. Well, there's two things that you can do. These are the two top things you can do to make sure you don't have a squatter on your property. Number one is, when you rent to somebody, always make sure that you have a lease agreement in writing. If you don't have a lease agreement, find one, hire an attorney. There are plenty of services out there that will provide you with a lease agreement specific to your state. Number two is know the law. If you're a do-it-yourself property owner like I am, you want to make sure that you know the law. The best thing you can do is find out what the tenant and landlord laws are in your state, understand them, and understand how to use them to remove a tenant. A lot of landlords will have a tenant who doesn't pay, and they go down to the tenant and say move out, and they call the cops and try to get the tenant removed for trespassing, and the cops show up and they can't do anything because there's nothing criminal. There's nothing criminal happening on the property. It's a civil matter. You've got to go to a civil court process to have that tenant removed. So you either need to learn that process yourself, go down to the court like I did, file the paperwork and get it done, or do what I do now, and I just hire an attorney. I found a very good, very efficient attorney, flat fee to do the eviction. We now make one phone call, send one email over with the lease agreement and the 5-day notice to pay or quit or move out, and then the attorney takes it from there. And then like today, I showed up to court to see what the progress is going to be. I appeared, the tenant didn't appear, and there was a default judgment, which means the tenant didn't show up, and the judge basically he ruled in our favor and now is going to remove the tenant, and there's a whole nother process that'll take place after this if the tenant doesn't remove. But those are two things you can do to make sure that you don't get a squatter on your property.